Let's move on, John. A little bit more lighthearted segment.
Can it get any lighthearted? Any more lighthearted?
So this next segment is something I like to call I'm Gonna Party Like It's 1999.
Okay.
Can you guess what this segment's about? What we're going to talk about in this segment?
Movies? 90s movies?
So they're close. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite things from the 90s. So this week...
I'm going to start confused 80s and 90s stuff. Okay, go ahead.
So this week, this one's a little bit of both. Yeah, you're right. Some of the stuff does overlap, but I'd consider this a 90s thing. So for this week, one of our favorite 90s things, and I think we didn't talk about this, but I can guess this is one of your favorite things. Blockbuster. Remember Blockbuster, John?
Yes, I do. I miss it so much.
I miss it a lot. Truthfully, I miss it a lot.
Yeah.
So for all you kids out there who are a little younger, Blockbuster was this store that you would walk into and it would have movies.
It would have Netflix inside.
Yeah, so just imagine Netflix but in a store.
It would have VHSs if you if you guys haven't got your VHS shots, if you haven't been vaccinated, we do encourage it.
Yes.
Just
here at the Malarkey Hour, we encourage health.
Mention Malarkey Hour when you go, and you'll probably get the exact same price.
Yes. No, so Blockbuster, John. One of my favorite activities as a kid was
masturbation.
Friday evening.
Masturbation.
Friday evening, going down to our local Blockbuster and picking out 2 movies. Well, I always pick out 2 movies.
And making it a Blockbuster night.
Making it a Blockbuster night.
That's what they used to say, right?
We used to always do 2 movies, right? So I always picked out a movie for me, like a kid's movie when I was little.
Like some fucking French subtitle movie as a child?
No. I watched kids' movies. I wasn't always a kid.
some kid's French subtitle movie.
No, so and then either my dad or my brother would pick out a movie, or sometimes my dad would pick out one and my brother would pick out one. So so I would always watch maybe a movie that night, and then we watched the other movie the next morning, like Saturday morning. So that was like always a fun thing. Like I knew like, hey, we're gonna watch something tonight, and then I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be I'm gonna watch my cartoons and we're gonna watch a movie. So
yeah, like so you wouldn't watch it that night?
No, because it was sometimes like we would get home, like we'd go out like maybe like at 6, 7, pick out a movie, get back home. By the time you watch the first movie,
it wasn't like a family thing for me. So we would just like I would usually watch like what I wanted to watch by myself.
Okay, yeah.
But like my sister would get one too, and she would watch that like. If it was okay, I'll watch it with her, but if not, I'd be like, fuck you.
How many TVs did you have how many VCR did you have in your house?
3.
Okay. See, we weren't rich little kids. John, if you didn't know, John's like Richie Rich. John grew up with
stupid.
John grew up with 3 VCRs.
It's like you're impressed by the little things. Like, you had bubble gum? I'm like, yeah, I had bubble gum. Just like,
John had 3 VCRs growing up.
And then when the flavor went around that, I would just fucking spit that shit out. Like those guys in Succession on HBO. Chewing bubble gum all day.
So John had the luxury of having 3 VCRs.
I'm guessing. It probably wasn't 3 originally. I think it just became 3 later.
Like y'all bought one and then, we need another one. Or whatever.
Yeah. Because I think we did get it early, though. It was like expensive.
Yeah.
But we had one to begin with.
Yeah.
And eventually it became like...
Did you ever have Betamax?
No, that was the one I skipped.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Laserdisc, though. You know that.
Yeah. I never had Laserdisc.
It's the record size.
Yeah. I always wanted one. We went from VHS.
Man, I kind of wanted... I want it back. I don't know what happened. I think I sold it at like garage sale.
Oh, the Laserdisc?
Yeah. Dude, it was the size of a record. You remember?
Yeah, they were huge.
And then halfway through the movie, you got to flip it.
Yeah. Because they could only hold like 30 minutes on one side, right? Or maybe an hour?
Yeah, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice the big difference in quality. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
It probably was. It just didn't work.
Blockbuster didn't do... Did the Blockbuster do Laserdisc?
I don't think so.
They just did VHS, right?
Yeah.
And then they jumped to DVD.
I had nothing but horror movies.
Oh, really?
Just on Laserdisc.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, it was all horror movies. Huh? It was like I had all the Child's Plays and like the Halloweens and like...
You know, the one of the things to jump a little bit ahead, Blockbuster, you know, this is one of the weird things on Blockbuster. They didn't carry any porn. That was their big thing.
Yeah.
They never carried porn.
Yeah, it was like a friend of ours. I think I've told you this.
How's that?
Go to Blockbuster and just try to find there's like a dirty scene in the movie.
Uh-huh.
And he'd just like go with his mom and try to like sneak it by his mom, or it'd be like a dirty movie but not really that dirty. So it was the closest thing to porn that he could get.
Yeah.
And like he'd watch it and he's like totally disappointed.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't hardcore. It is literally what he said to me. Like, this isn't hardcore. He goes, this isn't even core. I was like, I'm thinking back at it now. I go, that's funny.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, back in the day, making a like you said, Blockbuster night, that was like the highlight of
your life.
Well, I mean, it's something you can't recreate now. Like, there's nothing equivalent to it. Like, I mean, this doesn't seem the same.
Is there CD exchanges like nationwide, or is that like?
I'm not sure.
Is that like a local Texas
it might be nationwide.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like that's not the same.
No,
you're buying movies.
No, you're buying. I know. I'm just saying, like, it's the closest thing. Right?
Yeah, I guess it's you're going and you're
or just any of like the stores in the mall sometimes, like those weird video stores.
Yeah,
CD exchange is funnier because it's dead.
Yeah,
and like there's nobody.
There's nobody there. Blockbuster was packed on Friday nights. It was packed, and the thing that sucked. People that were born after that they'll never go through is sometimes they didn't have the movie you wanted. So you had to get there before the new release. That
they would
Tuesday?
Come out on
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you wanted Friday night,
if you would call them and they'd be like, "Hey, someone's supposed to turn it in today."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I hope they do. Like, I hope they don't keep it for another day.
So sometimes you wanted to watch a movie and you couldn't because they didn't have a copy.
There's people.
So you had to go to another Blockbuster. You had to go to another Blockbuster. Kids.
Drive around the city to find that movie.
Yeah. So if you wanted to watch Kindergarten Cop. Right. And it was the first week that it came out. You were going to find it, John. It's new release.
Man, stop. I told you. I thought we were going to get lighter. This is more horrifying than the first thing.
So, do you know when Blockbuster was started?
No.
So,
I can guess 89.
No. It was the first Blockbuster store opened on October 19th. 1985 in Dallas, Texas. So it started with an initial inventory of 8,000 VHS and 2,000 beta tapes. So the man
they did Betamax.
They did Betamax, yeah. So it was founded by a man named David Cook.
David Blockbuster.
So David Cook had another company he started in 1978. The company name was Cook Data Services. So his first company's primary goal was to supply software services to the oil and gas industries throughout Texas. But it wasn't very successful.
So he did a little bit of a pivot, as they say in the business industry.
He wasn't very successful with it, though. So his wife, Sandy Cook, wanted to get into the video business. And her husband would soon study the industry and future prospects. So using the profit he made from selling David P. Cook and Associates, the subsidiary of his company, he decided to buy into a video
subsidiary.
Mm-hmm. John can say that word better than I can. He decided to buy into a video store franchise in Dallas known as VideoWorks. So what happened is VideoWorks would not allow him to decorate the interior of his store with a blue and yellow design. So he departed the franchise, and that's when he opened the first Blockbuster.
That's funny that he left over the colors.
Yeah, he left over the colors.
Racist.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, with Cook's experience with managing huge databases, that proved helpful in driving innovation within the industry. So, following early success from the company's first stores, Cook built a $6 million warehouse in Garland, Texas, to help sustain and support future growth that allowed new stores to open quickly. So Blockbuster would often custom tailor a store's inventory to its neighborhood based on local demographics. So it's like, hey, this neighborhood's they're big into horror. Let's dump a bunch of horror. Yeah, so that was pretty smart.
Yeah.
Fun little fact, John. Do you know that in 1987 the company won a court case against Nintendo that paved the way for its video game rentals?
Okay, I forgot they did that.
Yeah, they did video rentals. So that same year, Waste Management co-founder Wayne Huizenga, who originally had reservations about entering the video rental industry, agreed to acquire...
You had to make a reservation?
Agreed to acquire several Blockbuster stores.
Well, then I wouldn't have had to jump from store to store. I could have just reserved the movie.
So, do you know who Wayne Huizenga is?
No.
So, not only was he a owner and co-owner of Blockbuster Video, he's also one of the owners of... He's the primary owner of the Miami Dolphins.
Today?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
Are they both still alive?
David Cook, I don't know. I didn't look that deep into his... And I'm like not that interested.
He was killed by Albert Fish.
So, as we all know, Blockbuster is no longer around.
What? Isn't there one store left?
So, I'll get into that. So, Blockbuster was huge. I mean, that's the reason we're talking about it in the 90s. It was huge in the 90s, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
that was what they said. Let's make it a Blockbuster night. Or make it a Blockbuster night, right?
Make it a Blockbuster night.
That was their slogan.
That was their slogan for years.
Just be commercials, right?
For years.
Make it a Blockbuster night.
Like, if you're going to... that was like a big date thing, right? When you're like a teenager.
Wasn't that even a phrase like, oh, it's a Blockbuster movie? Like, or was that...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a phrase that's been used before. Well, I think it's a phrase that was around before Blockbuster, though. Like, hey, that's a Blockbuster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know which came first.
Yeah.
The chicken or the egg? Yeah.
So, obviously, Blockbuster started to dwindle after its peak in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. After
a little company named, can you guess?
I'm going to say the first ones to fuck with them is Redbox.
Not necessarily. It was actually Netflix.
Okay. Well, they were both kind of fucking with them at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah. I mean, that would have been my second guess, but I think...
Well, it was both Redbox and Netflix.
Yeah.
So, what's crazy, though, is that Netflix offered to sell the company to Blockbuster, and they laughed at them, John.
Wow. That would have been a meeting to think about later.
So, James W. Keyes, who was the CEO at the time, chairman and CEO, he said neither Redbox nor Netflix are even on the radar screen in terms of competition. It's more Walmart and Apple.
Oh,
this was in 2007.
Yeah, they were wrong.
So, John, do you know at the beginning of 2010, this was only 9 years ago, Blockbuster had over 6,500 stores. 4,000 were in the U.S.
Right.
The 4,000 that were in the U.S., that number fell to 3,425 by late October of that same year. They lost over 500 stores in about 10 months.
Okay.
So in the United States, it planned to close about 800 to...
Hey, can we have that meeting again? We'd like to reevaluate your proposition.
So they plan to close another 800 to 900, almost 1,000 retail stores, and instead started launching as many as 10,000. Did you ever use this 10,000 Blockbuster Express video rental kiosk?
No, I saw it. I don't think I ever used it.
It was around the time Redbox started coming around. Where
I was going to say, because I think I kind of noticed them and Redbox around the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like a Hail Mary kind of play for them.
Yeah, and it did not work. But you know what, I think what happened is too many people associate Blockbuster with its physical stores. So they see these, standalone kiosks, and people start asking, what is this? Like, this doesn't seem like, this is not a Blockbuster. I can't walk into this. What are you trying to do?
You can try.
Yeah.
And then you hurt yourself and you sue them. They're like, hey, we don't have any money.
So as you know, today there is no more Blockbuster except for one.
I think I know where it is. I'm guessing.
So there's one store left. So at the beginning of this year, there's actually several stores.
Really?
Yeah.
So down to one now.
But now it's down to one.
Can I guess? I think I heard it somewhere.
Okay, try to guess.
Is it
where?
Is it in Alaska?
where actually that's close. The last Alaska one closed, I think, this year.
Oh, so the one in Alaska's done?
It's done. So if I know I know you're gonna go to Alaska in December.
Sure.
So don't.
I mean, I was planning my whole trip around the block. Dude, I mean, honestly, I would totally go.
Just to do the last one?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'd be there taking pictures. And I think I heard it on that John Oliver show. That's what I remember.
With the last Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last Blockbuster actually has a very funny Twitter account.
Does it?
Yeah. And
so there's no more?
There's only one left.
How come they said that was the last one?
What?
The Alaska one.
No. What you're referring to, that they already closed. The last Alaska one was...
So there's 0 right now?
There's one left.
Okay.
There's one.
So there was 2 when I said when Alaska was around.
Alaska, yeah, closed. So once Alaska closed...
I have no idea where the last one is.
The last one is in Oregon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Big city?
What's that?
What city?
Shit, I had it up here.
We have the facts. We'll give you the fax number.
There actually was a one in Australia that closed in March 2019. So I think that when that one closed, it made the one here in the United States the very last Blockbuster in the world.
Do they actually rent out movies?
They actually rent out movies. If you follow them on Twitter, you can see... Let me pull it up. Sorry, I had it here and I lost it.
Yeah,
that's my fault.
That's how we run the show.
Very unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's actually located. It's one of the funny ones. It's located in the Oak Park Shopping Center between Ace Hardware and the former O'Kelly Dojo.
Well, let me ask you this: if you were just on vacation and you had to pick to go on the Blockbuster or the Ace Hardware store, which one would you pick?
That'd be tough. The last Ace... But Ace Hardware has a bunch of them, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still Ace Hardware, right?
I guess. So the last Blockbuster is in Bend, Oregon. I'm sorry. Bend, Oregon.
Bend?
Bend, Oregon.
B-E-N-D, right?
Yes. So I
don't like cities that tell me what to do.
I want to close out this segment by reading you 10 tweets.
I'm going to read you a letter from the guy who founded Blockbuster.
Okay, so let me read you some tweets.
He also killed children.
Let me read you some tweets from the actual Blockbuster. They actually ran... It's called... If you want to follow them on Twitter, they're at Lone Blockbuster. And they're the last Blockbuster. Please stop sending us pictures of abandoned Blockbusters. That's like us sending you photos of your dead grandparents. If you plan on coming in today, just tweet me and I'll run over and open up the store. A lot of people don't know this, but we own a huge portion of Netflix. Just kidding, our electricity just got shut off. How do you think it makes us feel when you take a selfie with our sign and then leave without coming inside?
Nice.
I'm sure they get that a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I would totally go in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was being nostalgia crazy, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get excited when cars pull into our lot, but then it turns out there's just divorced parents passing along their children. Netflix doesn't even have any stores.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. We're watching Titanic, and the boobs part starts in like 15 minutes. If you guys want to get down here, a great way to improve your Blockbuster experience is to lower your expectations.
That's funny. Go ahead, keep going.
Tomorrow only, we will be forgiving all late fees as long as you bring in a written apology and give us one compliment. That was the big thing, right? People were
be kind, rewind.
But I mean, the late fees, like the late fees were one of the things that really did them in.
Was it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, I had them too. It's like, yeah, we all.
Even towards the end when they were like grasping for straws, they remember that no late fees policy they started doing towards the end?
Okay. No, they just waived them?
Well, that's the thing, but it seemed like it was like false advertising.
So, I mean, you couldn't keep it forever. You maybe get like an extra, some time.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that was what they say. They say, be kind, rewind.
Yeah.
And, you had to rewind the tapes and get it like a Dropbox, right? You could just shove it in there.
Yeah. They were making crazy money out of their late fees.
You know, it's funny. Mm-hmm. It might be like, because there's like, you could try to get like, I don't know, let's say like a hard job to get, right? Like I work for Goldman Sachs, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what? I work at Blockbuster. You'd be like, try to get that job. It's really
I remember when I was a teenager, I applied to Blockbuster.
I applied too.
Yeah,
the longest interview ever.
Oh, I never got to the interview.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean interview. Longest application ever.
Okay, I never got to the interview.
The computer, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was long, right?
It was long. It was very long.
It was exhausting. I was like, do I really want to even?
It was very long, yeah.
Yeah, I applied too. I didn't get any response.
I never got called in for an interview. I think you told me this about another, I'm not going to name the business, but where it might have been an issue of, like, I think I wrote a pretty good resume, but it might have been an issue of, I think you said this one time, they don't want somebody who knows their rights. Right? If you write too well of a resume.
I went into let's just call it a fast food, whatever restaurant, whatever you want to call it. And I went with a friend of mine. And I had like all these job like references and job experience, and my friend had nothing. Mm-hmm. And they're like basically burned my application in front of me. And they're like, "Hey, yeah, you're hired." They hired my friend. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, pretty much exactly how it happened.
I want to leave this segment with this last tweet. And I put the visual up for you to see, John. I'll put it up on this. This is why I get out of bed every morning. It's a beautiful visual of a bunch of...
I want to go.
A bunch of...
I would go.
So we're gonna.
We gotta find other things to do though, because I can't plan a whole trip on that shit. You're like, you want to spend 12 hours at Blockbuster again? Yes.
So the Malaki Hour is gonna do his first road trip, and we're going to Bend, Oregon, and we're gonna do a live podcast from the last Blockbuster.
I bet you they'd let us.
I bet you they will.
I bet you they'd let us.
So that's gonna be something to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. We're announcing it right now, right here. Me and John are planning
don't give their hopes up.
A Malarkey trip sometime in the near future.
I don't like commitment. Don't do this.
To Bend, Oregon, and we will record a live podcast.
I do want to go. We got to find other shit to do. Like, seriously. Can't just we come back. I fucking hate Blockbuster so much. I spent 80 hours inside a Blockbuster.
We will interview the manager. It's gonna be a nice. Don't expect the next week or anything, but in sometime in the next few years, just give yourself a little bit of an out.
They're not gonna be open. That would be impressive.
Yeah.
So who's funding this thing?
We'll try to get there before they close. Yeah.
Midnight.
Yeah.
What time do they used to close?
I think 11. Yeah.
11.
Yeah, maybe midnight. Yeah. So we'll leave you with that.